Players have been drafted, players have found new homes, nearly $3 billion in guaranteed money has been handed out in free agency this summer. We're already looking ahead to next season. Welcome to Give and Go. I'm Madelyn Burke, joined as always by SI NBA writer Rohan Nadkarni. Deontay is somewhere out in Chicago just living his best life, but we're still here.
Finally, the show is all about us.
Yeah.
We cut the dead weight, just left the superstars here, so I'm excited about it.
This is the super team.
Yeah.
Free agency still, Deontay's, he'll be back. But first of all, a lot of moves, a lot of people changing teams, a lot of interesting moves so far this offseason. What is one thing that stands out to you?
So, there's the obvious moves, right? Paul George, being one of them, Gordon Hayward. But there are so many other players moving around that have made kind of new, interesting teams. I think one that we both really appreciate are the Clippers. What's funny is for the first time in years, it took kind of Chris Paul leaving for them to build an actual team.
Right.
They might actually have a bench this season. I really like what they've done. I mean, bringing Teodosic from overseas.
Teodosic, EuroLeague MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are like, who is this guy? But he's sneaky good.
He really is. I mean, I think Patrick Beverley is going to be a good point guard for them, defensively, shooting threes. And now Blake kind of gets the run to show, and I'm really kind of excited to see where that happens. I would like to see them make one more move, and I think that's trading DeAndre. And that has nothing to do with kind of his talent level or what he's brought to that organization. I just think moving forward, stylistically, I don't know how he fits in on that team. If they can move him for someone with a little more range, I think that make that team a little bit more sense.
I think when Chris Paul came to that team, he changed the culture. I mean, they were a very entertaining losing team. Chris Paul got there and changed it to a winning culture, a team that expects to make the postseason, expects to make a run. And he's made that imprint on the culture of the Clippers organization. But now, with him moving on to Houston, the team's got a lot of great pieces. A lot of the trade pieces they got in return, guys like Patrick Beverley, guys like Lou Williams are excited. And Sam Decker are excited to be playing in Los Angeles with the Clippers. And, when I first saw Chris Paul leaving this franchise, I thought, oh, this team is going to fall hard off the charts. And now I'm thinking this is going to be a really good, entertaining team to watch this season.
Without a doubt. I think they're going to be pretty solid. And kind of moving ahead with that under-the-radar team. This one's, less under the radar. It's probably obvious, but the Sixers, I mean, with Markelle Fultz, I think they're going to be so much fun. One thing I will say, and, Sixers fans have been gloating a lot on Twitter, and I'm happy for them.
Let them play a game first.
Yeah. It's not only that. It's, Simmons has had, the foot injury. Embiid has had 3 knee surgeries now.
Right.
I just want to see those guys healthy, but if they are, I mean, that's going to be so exciting. I mean, Ben Simmons wants to play point guard. I think Fultz is probably the player with the most star potential in this draft. Lonzo's kind of gotten the attention. Guys like De'Aaron Fox are getting attention, maybe because their personality is a little more outward than Markelle Fultz, but I think he has superstar potential. More so than anyone else on their core right now, just because of his all-around game and his health. So the Sixers, I think, could be a lot of fun.
Sixers are going to be flashy. They're going to be fun. They're going to be highlight reel. But like you said, they're fragile. You got to keep them bubble wrapped sometimes because you don't want them to stay. You don't want these injuries to pop up. I don't think that this team is going to, knock through the Eastern Conference and be like a dominant force immediately. But I do think that they're going to be worth watching. Even if they are a 35-win team next season, I think you're going to want to tune in and watch Sixers games because of the athleticism and the youth and the excitement. Another team, too, that I cannot wait to watch get on the court, though, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, they were already an athletic, high-scoring team, but they needed a few things. I think they still need a little something to put them over the edge. I don't see them being a team that's going to challenge the Warriors, but I see them being a 4 or 5 seed in the West.
Yeah, the Wolves made great moves. I mean, Jimmy Butler is one of the better players in the game. He's on a great contract for them. One issue I took with Minnesota was after getting Butler, I didn't like the corresponding moves they made. I would rather have George Hill for the money they're paying Jeff Teague. They got essentially the same contract. Taj Gibson, I thought, was a little bit of a mistake signing for them. I would rather them get a Patrick Patterson type, someone who could shoot. The offense is going to be cramped for Minnesota. Speaking of, that forward who can shoot, I like what the Nuggets did getting Paul Millsap there. I would just implore basketball fans to watch the Nuggets next year with Gary Harris, Jokic, Millsap. That front court is going to be so much fun to watch. Again, they're not a team that's going to be a contender necessarily, but they're going to be a lot of fun to watch.
All right, Summer League-wise, we've seen a lot of fun performances by these rookies. Is there one rookie that you're like, God, that guy should have been higher on the draft boards?
Not necessarily higher. I mean, I'm a Heat guy, so, I got to shout out Bam Adebayo. He's been playing really well. I will say Jason Tatum has, kind of held his own. I don't know if he's played super efficiently, but I think he's turned heads a little bit. That was also obviously a controversial move by the Celtics to kind of trade back, pass on Fultz and pick up Tatum, but I think Tatum at least started to show why he deserved to be a top pick.
NBA.com has Bam Adebayo ranked number 2 so far in the class of rookies, which is much higher than he was drafted. I think he's been impressive. Now, on NBA Rookie Media Day, Malik Monk said he thought people were sleeping on Bam and made the comparison between Bam Adebayo and Draymond Green. Now, a lot of people don't necessarily see that comparison in the way he plays the game, but perhaps his role or the way he fits in with the team could be Draymond-esque.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to have a good chance to succeed. You know, he's going to be playing alongside a lot of veterans. There's not going to be a lot of pressure on him as a lottery pick to come in and perform right away. The Heat have showed, you know, kind of great player development the last couple of years with guys like Tyler Johnson, Rodney McGruder. I mean, you could even say Hassan Whiteside, who've really come into their own with the team. You know, same for Dion Waiters and James Johnson. So I think he's going to be a good fit. You know, Spo's going to coach him up.
You know.
So I'm really excited to see what he does.
All right, well, we've got time until the season tips off, but we will definitely be here periodically throughout the summer talking about all the latest on and off the court.